Okay, we are in the Scopist program, which can be found inside of SpeechCat, as well as in the remote Scopist. In the transcriptionist application, it is called Edit. It is also called Scopist in the Digitran package. Dragon has translated our voice into text, and so now we're doing correction mechanism, which we turn on via this button here. The minute we turn it on, it selects the utterance that our cursor is on and presents it to us and plays the audio, as you can see here. Alt-P will play the audio again. It was a Friday night. Some of my old college fraternity I don't understand that last word, and so I'm not going to correct it. I'm just going to move on by hitting page down. Had come in for the weekend. I'm using my right arrow key. Alt-P to play again. We were going to, I'm going to hit Control D to get rid of the word will. That's delete. Control D. We were going to go rabbit hunting that weekend. Alt-P to play one last time. Page down to move to the next utterance. I didn't understand it. I'm going to play it again. And go rabbit hunting. This was just a case of me probably repeating myself. Page down. Yes, rabbit hunting. And I think what happened here is that it should have said Q rabbit hunting question mark, then ACO yes rabbit hunting. So that was a mistake on my part. The way I'm going to handle that is through editing. In the correction mechanism, which is what we're doing now, we are only making changes to what Dragon wrote based on what we said. We're not making changes based on the mistakes that we make. So we're just going to move on, and we're going to make sure that the audio that we hear matches the text that we hear when we can understand it. So let's hit page down. We were going I think again this is just a mess up on my part. Page down. We were going out there to check the area. We were going out there to check the area. Page down. Want to make sure I have the right bridge. Control D. RIGHT, the right bridge. Alt-P. I want to make sure I have the right bridge. Do you know the road where the accident happened? Do you know where the, I want to do Control D, and instead of incident, it's accident, happened, ACO, okay.
I was going to a place called Billy Goat Ridge, that's where we're going to go.
I was going to a place called Billy Goat Ridge. That's where we were going. Alt P.
I was going to a place called Billy Goat Ridge, that's where we're going to go.
Okay, page down.
Rabbit hunting, chicken there.
Rabbit. Control D to delete. H U N T I N G. Alt P.
Rabbit hunting, chicken there. Rabbit hunting, chicken there. Rabbit hunting, chicken there.
To get there. Page down.
Let's go down a gravel road and then cross another bridge.
Control D. A gravel road and then cross another bridge. Page down.
Old metal bridge, Cuba.
An old metal bridge. Page down.
Now, how long had it been since you had been to Billy Goat Ridge?
Now, how long had it been since you had been to Billy Goat Ridge? And I think we want to capitalize it because it's a place. So Billy, Control I will initial cap. Page down to go to the next utterance.
April, it had been a few years, Cuba. April, it had been a few years, Cuba.
So I hear myself say,
April, it had been a few years.
how, and then it had been a few years. So I'm not going to change that because Dragon did write what I said.
Do you remember how fast you were traveling? Do you remember how fast you were traveling?
And do you remember? Control D to delete. How fast you were traveling. Page down.
April, I want to say between 25 and 35.
I want to say between 25.
April, I want to say between 25 and 35.
And I don't hear myself saying and, so I'm not going to add it.
April, were there any streetlights on that road? April.
Were there any street lights on that road?
Oh no.
Oh no.
This was way out in the country.
Okay, that's correct. This was way out in the country.
The incident happened about 9:30 at night. The incident happened about 9:30 at night.
Okay, that's correct.
It was pretty dark out there and it's cloudy. I don't think you could see the moon. Hugo, I forgot to ask you this question, Mike.
Alt P.
I don't think you could see the moon. Hugo, I forgot to ask you this question, Mike. I don't think you could see the moon. Hugo, I forgot to ask you this question, Mike.
Okay, I don't understand what I'm saying, the last word. So I'm not going to change it.
I don't think you could see the moon. Hugo, I forgot to ask you this question, Mike.
I forgot to delete. Ask you this question, Mike.
What type of vehicle were you driving? Echo.
What type of vehicle were you driving?
I was driving a Dodge Ram truck at a gun.
I was driving a Dodge Ram truck
I was driving a Dodge Ram truck at a gun.
at the time.
Echo, if you said your college fraternity buddies were with you. Echo, if you said your college fraternity buddies were with you. Echo, if you said your college fraternity buddies were with you.
And you said, your college fraternity brothers were, Control D, with you.
You tell me their names. Echo, yes.
Can you tell me their names? Okay, can you tell me their names? Yes, page down.
James Clark and Todd Green.
James Clark and Todd Green. Page down.
Hugo, okay. So what happened? Tell me what happened. Echo, well, we were just riding along, talking.
We were just riding along, talking.
There's no one thing, you know, that is special. Keep on this radio on. There's no one thing, you know, that is special. Keep on this radio on.
Was the radio on?
Echo, yes, the radio was on, I think.
Yes. The radio, Control D to delete, was on, I think. Control D. Oh. Because I didn't have a space between the two words, it deleted both words. I'm going to be careful about that. You see this error here, it says in correction mode, you may not backspace. Here it says in correction mode, you may not backspace when at the start of the utterance, meaning the next utterance. So we always want to make sure that we stay within the orange section. So I can delete, but I don't want to start typing at the end of an utterance. I'm going to hit page down.
Hugo, the radio was on. Okay, Echo.
The radio was on, Alt P.
Hugo, the radio was on. Okay, Echo.
Okay, ACO. So ACO, and that turns it into the asterisk A asterisk. And what's doing that is the brief forms, because I created a brief form so that I would just type in ACO for ACO, because asterisk A asterisk is not as comfortable and as quick for me as just ACO. And to add a brief form, we would go to our options, which is here in the upper left hand corner, and we would click on it one time. And these are all of our brief forms. As you can see, I've added one for ACO, one for AMAC. Same as for QCO and QMAC. And when you add one, you would just click on add, and you would type in, let's say I wanted to type in one for ACO, which is AHCO. That would be my short form, and the text would be asterisk A asterisk, and I would hit add, and then all of a sudden that would now be another option in my brief forms. I would apply and OK to make sure that it'll work immediately. Now I'm going to hit page down again.
I remember we were going down the road. I remember seeing the shadows of the trees. I remember we were going down the road. I remember seeing the shadows of the trees.
I remember going Control D, Control down the road. Alt P.
I remember we were going down the road. I remember seeing the shadows of the trees.
We were going down the road.
I remember we were going down the road. I remember seeing the shadows of the trees.
I remember seeing Control D, Control D, the shadows of the trees. Page down.
And then all I remember is seeing a black Ford, and that was it.
Alt P.
And then all I remember is seeing a black Ford, and that was it.
And then all I remember is seeing a black void.
And then all I remember is seeing a black Ford, and that was it.
And that was it. Page down.
Hugo, had you and the guys been drinking that day?
Had you and the guys Control D, been drinking that day? Control D, backspace, page down.
Hugo, we had bought a six-pack. I had one.
We had bought Control D, a six-pack. I had one.
And the guys had split the rest of the six-pack. Hugo ordered in the beer.
And the guys had Control D, split the rest of the six-pack. Alt P.
And the guys had split the rest of the six-pack. Hugo ordered in the beer. And the guys had split the rest of the six-pack. Hugo ordered in the beer.
Where did you get the beer? Page down.
Hugo, we stopped at a convenience store.
We stopped at a convenience store.
Hugo, what size were the beers? Hugo, just 12-ounce bottles. Hugo, I understand.
What size were the beers?
Hugo, what size were the beers? Hugo, just 12-ounce bottles. Hugo, I understand.
Just 12 ounce bottles. Hugo, I understand.
Do you remember how much of the beer you would have had at the time of the incident? Hugo, no.
Do you remember how much of the beer you had at the time
Do you remember how much of the beer you would have had at the time of the incident? Hugo, no.
you would have had at the time of the accident?
I don't remember you were driving down this road.
Driving down this road. As you notice, I'm only changing the things that are wrong. Anything,
What do you think between my legs? Keep up.
I'm using anything that's already there. It would have been between my legs.
Echo, it would have been between my legs. Keep up. And you mentioned that you were driving along and then suddenly remember a black boy. And you mentioned that you were driving along and then suddenly remember a black boy. And you mentioned that you were driving along and then suddenly remember a black boy.
I don't understand what I said here, and so I am not going to make any changes at all. I'm just going to move on.
Do you remember anything else about the accident? Echo.
Do you remember anything else about the accident? Echo.
I remember falling. Kingdom, do you remember them yelling to you?
I remember falling.
I remember falling. Kingdom, do you remember them yelling to you?
Do you remember them yelling to you?
To watch out or anything prior to running up the bridge. To watch out or anything prior to running up the bridge.
And I can't tell if this is running off the bridge or riding off the bridge.
To watch out or anything prior to running up the bridge. Echo, no, I don't. Hugo, were any of you hurt in the accident? Echo, yes. Hugo, who was hurt and what were the injuries? Echo,
Who was hurt and what were the injuries?
well, James Clark hurt his ribs and Tom Green had a pretty good cut of his thumb.
Control I to initial cap. Had a pretty good cut on his thumb.
Hugo, did you receive any injuries in this accident? Echo, yes, I had a cut right here in my hairline.
I had a cut right. Alt P.
Yes, I had a cut right here in my hairline.
On my hairline. Control D. Okay, see what happened here was I got a little overexcited
You could see the scar.
and I went over into the next utterance.
If you look, you could see the scar. Hugo, did you have to get stitches? Echo. Hugo, did you have to get stitches? Echo. Hugo, did you have to get stitches? Echo.
Did you have to get stitches?
No, I didn't want to get stitches.
I didn't want to get stitches.
Hugo, tough guy, right? Hugo, tough guy, right?
You're a tough guy. right?
Echo. Yes, something like that. Hugo, that's a pretty big scar there.
Something like that. That's a pretty big scar there.
Echo, yes. I had two black eyes too.
I had two. Now this, we can use word swap, which is Control Y, and it brings in all the other sound like words that we have in the word swap dictionary. Word swap can also be found through here, the second tab. And these are things that we create. We do have a default word swap list, and it's been created over the years by many of the reporters that have used our software. And it's just words that sound like other words. And when you have a word swap, you can just hold the control key down and hit the Y key until the right sounds like word comes up. Now we move on to black eyes 2. So Control Y again. And there we go. Page down.
Echo, I'm sure you did. Echo.
I'm sure you did. Page down.
Now. Hugo. Now, were you wearing a seatbelt? Echo, no. Hugo,
Were you wearing a
was anybody
seatbelt?
wearing a seatbelt that you recall? Now, were you wearing a seatbelt? Echo, no. Hugo, was anybody wearing a seatbelt that you recall?
This was a mistake on my part. Was anybody wearing a seatbelt that you recall? Let's hear that again.
Now, were you wearing a seatbelt? Echo, no. Hugo, was anybody wearing a seatbelt that you recall?
A seatbelt that you recall. Okay, page down.
Echo, no. Unfortunately, nobody was.
Nobody was. Page down.
Echo, now, was your vehicle damaged in this accident?
And was your vehicle damaged in this accident?
Echoes. Echoes.
It was total. Totaled.
Hugo, did you have collision coverage? Echo, no.
Hugo, did you have collision coverage? No,
Not at the time. Hugo.
not at the time.
I'd like to jump ahead to the accident report if I may. I'd like to jump ahead to the accident report if I may.
I'd like to jump ahead to the accident report if I may.
Were you ticketed in this accident? Echo, yes. Hugo.
Were you ticketed? Control D. In this accident. Alt P.
Were you ticketed in this accident? Echo, yes. Hugo.
Page
For
down.
failure to maintain control. Echo, yes. Hugo, for failure to maintain control. Echo, yes. Hugo, what happened to that ticket? Echo, I paid it.
Alt P.
Hugo, what happened to that ticket? Echo, I paid it.
What happened to that ticket? Echo. I paid it. Page down.
Hugo, now Mark, is there anything you'd like to tell me about the accident? Anything at all? Hugo, now Mark, is there anything you'd like to tell me about the accident? Anything at all?
anything you'd like to tell me about the accident, anything at all.
Echo, well, that was a bad day to start. Echo, well, that was a bad day to start. Echo, well, that was a bad day to start. A whole weekend of rapid high.
Now that I have completed doing the correction mechanism, we're actually going to turn correction off and go to the utterance summary. In the utterance summary, we listen to every utterance that we've corrected to make sure that it is actually good. We start at the top. On the left, you see the original text, and on the right, you see the corrected text. You listen.
Keep up.
That's correct, so I leave the box with a check in it.
Echo on 32. Echo on 32. Echo on 32. Echo on 32.
I think that might be I'm 32, so I'm going to deselect it because I don't think it's correct. And move on to the next one.
It's May 23rd, 1967. Hugo, do you have a nickname that you go by? Hugo, no, I don't. Do you mind if I call you Mike? Hugo, Mike, are you a native of this area? But my family moved here when I was in elementary school.
Okay, that one is not correct, so I'm going to deselect it.
And we've been here ever since. So is it fair to say that you've been here in Alabama for a considerable amount of time?
This is obviously not correct, so I'm going to deselect it.
Echo, fairly familiar. Hugo, Mike, let's just cut to the chase.
This is also incorrect.
When you drove your car off a bridge and into a creek.
This is incorrect because a space is needed here.
Do you remember that accident? Echo, yes, I remember the accident.
That's correct.
But I don't remember the exact date. Hugo, that's okay. Now, do you remember what day of the week this accident took place? Echo, it was a Friday night, so my old college fraternity released.
This word does not seem right, so I'm going to deselect it.
And coming for the weekend, we were going to go rabbit hunting that weekend.
That's correct.
Echo, rabbit hunting. Hugo. Yes, rabbit hunting. We were going. Echo, we were going out there to check the area. I want to make sure I have the right bridge. Do you know the road where the accident happened? Echo.
The road is missing here.
Well, I was going to a place called Billy Goat Ridge. That's where we were going to go.
That's correct.
Rabbit hunting. in there.
I'm not sure about this one, so I'm going to deselect it. It's very important that if you have any doubt as to whether it's correct or not, you need to uncheck it, because it's better to be cautious and not push anything through to the engine that is not absolutely correct, because that will create misrecognitions for you in the future.
Let's go down a gravel road and then cross another bridge. An old metal bridge, Hugo. Now, how long had it been since you had been to Gilligo Bridge? Do you remember how fast you were traveling? Hugo, were there any streetlights on that road? Bingo. Oh no. I don't think you could see the road. Hugo, I forgot to ask you this question, Mike.
There's something wrong right here, so I'm going to deselect it.
What type of vehicle were you driving? Bingo. I was driving a Dodge Ram truck at the time. Bingo, and you said your college fraternity friends were with you. Can you tell me their names? Bingo, yes. James Clark and Todd Green. Bingo, well, we were just riding along talking. Catching up on things, you know, that is special. Hugo was radio on. Bingo, yes, the radio was on, I think. Hugo, the radio was on. Okay, bingo. I remember we were going down the road. I remember seeing the shadows of the trees. And then all I remember is seeing a black Ford, and that was it. Hugo, had you and the guys been drinking that day? Hugo, we had bought a six-pack. I had one. And the guys had split the rest of the six-pack. Hugo, where'd you get the beer? Hugo, what size were the beers? Hugo, just 12-ounce bottles. Hugo, I understand. Do you remember how much of the beer you would have had at the time of the accident? Hugo, no. But you had your beer in your hand as you were driving down this road.
This is incorrect, or should have been were.
Hugo, you remember between my legs. Hugo. Do you remember anything else about the accident? Hugo. I remember falling. Hugo, do you remember them yelling to you to watch out or anything prior to running up the bridge? Hugo, were any of you hurt in the accident? Hugo, yes. Hugo, who was hurt and what were the injuries? Hugo. Well, James Clark hurt his ribs and Todd Green had a pretty big cut of his thumb. Yes, I had a cut right here in my hairline.
I don't know if it's on or in, so I'm going to deselect that.
If you look, you could see the scar. Hugo, did you have to get stitches? Hugo. No, I didn't want to get stitches. Hugo, tough guy, right?
I'm not sure about this one, so I'm going to deselect it.
Yes, something like that. Hugo, that's a pretty big scar there. I had two black eyes, too. Hugo, I'm sure you did. Hugo. Now, were you wearing the seatbelt? Hugo, no. Hugo, was anybody wearing a seatbelt that you recall? Hugo, no. Unfortunately, nobody was. Hugo, and was your vehicle damaged in this accident? Hugo was.
This I'm not sure about.
Total. Hugo, did you have collision coverage? Hugo, no. Not at the time. Hugo. I'd like to jump ahead to the accident report, if I may. Were you ticketed in this accident? Hugo, yes. Hugo. at what happened to them to get ACO unpaid. Kiko, Mail Mark, is there anything you'd like to tell me about the accident? Anything at all? Echo, well, that was a bad day to start a whole weekend of private hunting.
Okay, now that I've listened to everything, I can click on correct, and everything that was still selected will be corrected. You can see at the bottom of the screen it says corrections are being applied. Please wait or select cancel. You'll notice that everything that was corrected is in green text, and what was not corrected is in black text. In a minute, everything that was actually pushed through to the engine will turn blue, and everything that was not sent through to the engine will remain green. Everything that we unchecked will remain green. You just have to be patient while the speech engine does this.